Hey, what's up everyone? Jeremy here. So we're talking about links. What are links? How are links even useful? How do you use them? Well, these probably are three questions that you all can answer, but regardless, we're going to go over them and we are going to go over the code more importantly and how you can utilize them and just get them working. But from the top, here's a simple way to look at what links are. If you click on something and it brings you somewhere else, it's a link in some form or another. Or, for instance, if you need a navigation bar or something, or, anything to bring you somewhere else, that's going to be a link. If you have more than one page on your website and you like to connect them, then you're going to need a link. Okay? These are all links. The only way I can have multiple pages on a website is to have links in some fashion or another. Google can't even, or a search engine can't even crawl your website correctly unless you obviously have links. Okay, so now that I just destroyed that, let's move on to how you make a link. So links are a little bit more complex when it comes to tags. We've gone over heading, paragraph, and last tutorial we did divs. But the interesting thing with links is you have other variables you need to consider with the link tag itself. That might have been fake, but it was. So let me emphasize. Links in terms of them being styled, what happens when you go over the link and you scroll over it, what happens when you actually click on it, what happens when certain, all these different attributes, you have the ability to take care of those, and you should, to give a proper user experience. We're not going to worry about that right now. We'll get right back into that, but let's just write out a link. So let's say in our first article in the Glorious BS Times, there's a link we need to make for this right here. So this, we want to make a link. And let me just type it up here so it's a little bit, so you can just see it by itself. So what you're going to need for this is a tag, as I mentioned. And this tag starts with this little bit, the alligator mouths closed around the letter A. So A, this is kind of one of those few things in HTML that it's going to throw you off a bit. But it stands for anchor. You're pretty much anchoring a point on the page. Don't let it throw you off or anything. This is a link. It's just the way HTML does it. Then you're going to actually close this anchor point, and it's going to look something like that. Now, the anchor can be set with several different values, but the one you're going to worry about right now is the hyperlink reference. So pretty much where do I want this link to go? The reference of this link. And in this situation, let's just keep it simple. We're going to go to Google, I guess. So type in the full absolute web address of the URL you are trying to go to. So in this case, it's going to be http:// www.google.com. And yeah, as I mentioned, we were going to tie in that one little word. I think it was this one or whatever. It doesn't really matter at all. So I'm going to change this though, just to keep it making a little bit more sense, to Google, because this is going to be a link to Google. So that would only make sense. So pretty much we would just put the Google part, let's just cut it out, inside of these two alligator mouths. If somebody knows the name of those, go ahead and comment that down below, but I'm going to call them that for now. So let's just copy and paste, or cut and paste, wherever that was supposed to be. And so that'll give us our link. And let's double check this to make sure it's right, and also review it really quick. So we're opening our anchor, declaring a hyperlink reference equal to Google. Then we want this to be displayed as Google, and then we can just go ahead and end this. So let's see if this is working out for us. Let's go ahead and save this and go to run in Chrome. And as you can see, we have our link right here. So let's go ahead and click that and see that it brings us to Google. And gotta love the Rio Olympics. Okay, so let's get back. And now that's a standard link. And as you can see though, when you go over the link, nothing really happens. Nothing at all happens. It's just a blue link that's underlined in the standard web blue. So what if you wanted to change that? Yes, we already went over if you wanted to change the color of something, you can just target that. And you could by all means just target this little bit to change the basic color of the link. But that's not what I mean. I'm talking about, besides that, what if we wanted to change when you hover it, what happens? And then when you click onto it, what happens? Because it actually does change red, as you can see when you click onto it. But that's it. So stick around because we're going to turn this tutorial into 2 parts just to make it a little bit easier to digest. In the next tutorial, we're going to figure out how to actually style this link right here. So thanks for watching, you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in our part 2 on links.